This is Richard Fowler. I'm John Kilpatrick with Oklahoma Aikido, Louisville, Kentucky, USA. And I have decided to put together a course in Aikido, just a basic course. And there are 3 tracks in this course. One is leading, one is structure breaking, and one is striking. And so today this will be the first video in the structure breaking. And an exercise that I think has the purpose of teaching structure breaking is what we call a corner drop. And so in the corner drop, he grabs my wrist and he's going to hold on. And this is kind of a beginner, this is an exercise for beginners. So when he can let go if he feels like he's going to get hurt or something, but you know, he has to know how to fall. But he's not going to, probably not, you know, this will be something you're doing with people who can't fall very well yet. So he holds me. I don't make him fall. He can let go. But if he doesn't fall, then he can't really learn this either. So there are 3 things. There's a rotation. So, and the Russians explain this really well. So there are 3 things you have to mess up on the person to get a good structure break. You get a rotation, an extension, and a drop. So when I take my first step here, I'm going to get a rotation, and so his shoulder, he'll rotate a little bit. And it doesn't matter whether he moves with you or whether he fights you here, although he should, you know, be more moderately relaxed so that he can feel what's going on. But he'll get some movement here no matter what he does. So this is a rotation. Then I'm going to step through behind his other foot and extend him. And then after I make that extension, I'm going to squat. Now my teacher, you know, my teachers are kind of funny. Some of them would say, well, when you throw somebody, you've got to finish your throw. You've got to end up at the floor. To do that, I have to squat. And then other teachers say, well, don't squat, stand up straight and do this. So, but my opinion is that if you're dealing, and you know, one of the guys that practices with us is military, and he's always doing this stuff with the military. The Army does BJJ stuff a lot, and he's sparring with them a lot. And his experience is that if you don't squat, the techniques don't work. That you've got to really put power into your techniques if you're dealing with people that know how to fight and know how to grapple and they're fighting you. So what we're going to do here is we're going to, and this is slow and easy, step and rotate, step and extend, and then drop, then squat. So, and if we do that from the other side, so then I'm going to rotate, step and extend, and then squat. And let me do that. You can't, doing it slow like that, it will not work. So you have, and the reason is because he just keeps readjusting. And so what happens to you is what happened to me and everybody I trained with, you spend years and years going and trying to find where you get this break and he just keeps adjusting as you go around and you never get the break. So you have to go at his reflex speed or slightly faster, and that's not fast and it's not slow. So it looks like this. And that's about the right speed. And that might depend a little on who you're practicing with, but that's about the right speed. So, and that's the basic of it. Now, there's one other thing that's really important here that I want to mention, and that's what the other arm does. And so you know, people have all kind of different ideas of what you do with the other arm, and some people try to trip you and do different things. Here's what I think, and the way, and I think this because this is a really important principle, and that is that if I push, let's say I push Richard back like this. If I just push him, he just steps back, you know, so he just moves away from me. But if I put my hand here and push him, now he feels like there's no place to go. So if I'm doing a technique or something where he's involved in other things, he'll feel this and he won't move. So what happens to you doing a corner drop, and you know, and it's annoying, you know, beyond belief. Let's come this way a little bit more. We don't want to be going off the screen too much. So when I do this, if I just step in, he just steps back. So if I come like this, he just steps with me. And so nothing happens. You know, I can't get in position to do my technique. So what I want to do is as I step here, I just touch him with this hand. I don't push on him. If I push on him, now we're in a fight here, and this, you can't break his structure. But I just touch, and that touch makes, it's not conscious, but at an unconscious level, like I say, a horse trainer taught me this. And he does it with horses. And of course a horse is huge and incredibly powerful compared to a man, but you can just put your hand on the back of his head or somewhere, and if you're doing this correctly, the horse will feel like he can't move. He doesn't use his power. If he used his power against you, he'd send you flying through the air. So what I'm going to do is just step in here, touch, and just that touch makes him feel like he can't step back. So on this other side, and I'm doing these at normal practice speed. You can slow down the videos and look at them, but it's important to understand that if you go slowly, if you go slower than your normal reflex speed, these won't work. So don't feel like you're doing it wrong. If you go slow and it doesn't work, you're just going so slow that he can keep adjusting. So here, and so there, I'm just touching him with that arm.